Hi everyone, just this little video to give you a little bit about improvement steps we can do when we start to code with C# and GTK sharp. First question we should ask is why improve your code? Let's go back a little bit to see the Microsoft guidelines. I've found little guidelines which will help you a lot when you write your code, having them in mind. And let's check the rewritten app to-do list according to these guidelines. So why improve your code? Maintainability of your application, that's of course the first thing. It's easier to make changes. If someone goes on leave on your project or a new person has to step in, it's easier for them to look into the code, to read it, and to make changes, a lot of changes if needed. And of course you will have less documentation. Let's come back a little bit about the standards and back to Microsoft standards. I have a few of them here. Identifier naming rules and conventions. The code conventions, the basics, always good to read back, once again. And here a little article I've seen, interesting, about best programming practices. Then, so 7 guidelines given by someone I've seen on the internet. Tribute to this man. It's called Pascal Lacroix. And just to translate it, because it's in French, first of all, use Microsoft guidelines, which is obvious. Name of the item reveals intention of the item. When you read code, you should read it a little bit like sentences. It's not the same, but the closer it is to sentences, the closer it is understandable. Then also make it not too complex. Each class one responsibility. Same for methods, as small as possible. Should reduce it, even create a new method, or even create a new class, just that it is very, very clear. Limit parameters for methods. Pascal Lacroix gives a guideline of 5 maximum. I haven't used 5 yet, so I don't know. Ban complex expressions, so to avoid headaches or head pains going into a code, and avoid a 3-level imbrication. So let's see how I have reworked my to-do list app. Here is the to-do list, the code. I have taken a lot out according to not too big responsibility for one method, for one class. The to-do windows, I've taken out some stuff, putting into the sorting case, for instance, public static class. I'm putting some in to-do list from file. So for example, if you have to work not on a file text here, to-do list point text, but from another file or whatever, it will be easier to make changes. It will not change the rest of the code. You have just to look here what is necessary to give for making this running a good way. The others are more, say, less the same. Short ones. Short one. A little bit longer one. Short class also. So let's make it run. See, always the same app. Add, modify, suppress, quit, realized actions, non-realized actions. Not a lot to say more. I thank you for having looked at it. I wish you a very pleasant flight on C# and coding application.